Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rafe, an intuitive holistic life coach and also the co-author of the upcoming Book of Aeon, an alchemical novel due out summer 2025. Today, I want to dive into a topic that's super close to my heart, something that I've learned from my own experiences and happens to be one of the 12 pillars of Aeon: fear. Fear is that ancient thing that has always been there to keep us safe, but also can hold us back from really living life to the fullest. So how does fear keep us safe? Well, if you think back to when we were all running around in loincloths, facing a much wilder world, fear kept our ancestors from, say, punching a lion in the face. Fear also taught us to run when we saw an enemy like, say, a dinosaur or something with a really big club. Fear sends us into fight or flight mode, and it keeps us alive. It's there for a reason, and we can't get rid of it, nor would we want to. For example, I would never want to get into a helicopter with a pilot who tells me they are fearless. Why? Because they are inevitably going to do something really dumb like flying into a thunderstorm and get themselves killed. But we can learn to put fear in its place and turn down its volume. So let me share one of my own fears: roller coasters. My husband Dustin is a bit of a thrill seeker, especially when it comes to roller coasters. Many years ago, we visited Universal Studios in Florida. If you've been there, you know that it's packed with roller coasters. Dustin, being the kind of soul that he is, wasn't going to force me into riding any of them. And to be honest, I was pretty tempted to let him ride them all by himself. But then I realized that I had a choice. I could let my fear keep me from sharing that experience with him, or I could face it, irrational as it was, and join him. Knowing what I know now, I will say this: there were two vibrations within me having a battle. One of the vibrations was fear, also known as that which keeps me from experiencing the true nature of who I am. The other vibration was love. My love for Dustin and wanting to be with him and have that shared experience. Let me put a pin in this part and I'll come back to it later. Okay, so back to the roller coaster, and keep in mind this happened many years ago before I have the understanding that I do today. The understanding and knowing that knowing Aeon has given me. Okay, about this fear of mine. It's completely irrational. I've never liked going fast, whether it's on a roller coaster, a motorcycle, or even a speeding car. Why do I have this fear? Not entirely sure, but maybe it's a fear from a past life. Maybe it's tied to how I died before. Without diving into the Akashic records, who knows? But I do know this: when I look at a roller coaster, my stomach drops and I'm convinced that riding it will lead to my demise. So back to Universal Studios. Dustin was determined to ride every roller coaster in the park. So I had a decision to make: sit on the sidelines or join him. I decided to give it a shot, and here's how I tackled it. First, I broke down the experience. Standing in line for 45 minutes wasn't going to be scary. It would just be anticipation that would be there with me. Watching the roller coaster load up with people, I looked at that, and it wasn't scary either. I could handle sitting in a seat. Then I watched the roller coaster ascend that first really, really big hill. Okay, that was scary, but more about anticipation. No heart attack risk yet. I even timed that. From when that coaster left the station until it reached the crest of that hill was 25 seconds. Then came the terrifying part. The first drop, that whole sequence of plunging down, looping around this giant 180-degree circle, up another hill, one last plunge, and then returning to the station. I timed that. How long? Just 35 seconds. So I asked myself, can I be terrified for 35 seconds? And the answer that came back was yes. My love for Dustin and the shared experience we would have together was worth 35 seconds of terror for me. So I pushed through. Standing in line, my knees were shaking. I wanted to bolt when I sat in that coaster car. And I knew that once that safety bar came down, I was committed and there was no way out. As we climbed the hill, all that I could think about was that first plunge, and yeah, it was awful. But the loop, barely noticed it. As we rocketed around that huge circle, my eyes were closed and all I could feel was the G-force on my body. Then we were shooting up the second hill and onto that second drop. Not so bad either. In 35 seconds, we were back at the station, and guess what? I survived. No heart attack. After that, I rode more roller coasters that day using the same trick, telling myself I could handle 35, 45, even 75 seconds of fear. By the last one, I'll admit I was actually starting to enjoy myself. So, big question, did that cure my fear for roller coasters? Heck no, I still hate them. I just don't like the sensation of speed, and I am not an adrenaline junkie. But I can do it if I want to. The good news for me is now that Dustin is a bit older, he has some neck issues and he doesn't like riding them for that reason. So what's the takeaway here? First, we are all given a choice. We can continue to lead a life that is driven by the fear vibration, or we can choose a different vibration. What do I mean by this? What I know now that I did not know then is that we are all creators. We create the reality around us. The thoughts that we have become our reality. We have the ability to have abundance, to fulfill our purpose, to do anything we want. However, because we tend to focus on fear, we short-circuit the creative force that we all have. On that day many years ago, without knowing it, I chose the vibration of love over the vibration of fear. Because I did not fully understand how the law of attraction works, I had to analyze the experience in order to overcome the fear vibration that was so dominant in me at the time. However, I now know that there was another way. If you have specific questions about this, ask in the comments of this video and I will do my best to answer them. So let's get back to fear. If you let fear keep you from enjoying your life, you might miss out on some pretty amazing experiences. And if you take a closer look at what you're afraid of, you might see it in a whole new light. That day, I accepted the worst case scenario, and I decided that the risk was worth the reward. Now think about the fears that are holding you back. Is it a fear of changing career, fear of embracing who you truly are, fear of public speaking? Whatever it is, it's worth tackling because the best things in life often happen when you're outside your comfort zone. Growth happens when you're outside your comfort zone, and fear is what keeps you inside that safe little bubble, and it's really hard to grow with the limitation of what's comfortable for you. Think about what is holding you back from getting the things that you truly want in life. My guess is that you're focusing on the lack of what you want rather than what you do want. For example, maybe you want a new career, you want to be doing something exciting and meaningful with your life, but instead, all you can think about is what you don't have, and what you don't have is a career that's exciting and fulfilling. It's a fear loop. As long as you focus on what you don't have, you're never going to get what you deserve. And what you deserve is the life that you truly want. Like it or not, the law of attraction works in this way. Your thoughts will attract. It's that simple. Think about it and you attract it. The problem is that when we think about what we want, we spend more time thinking about the things that we don't have or the things that we are afraid of. So fear ends up winning and holds us back from getting what we truly want out of life. So what are you going to do about the fear that's holding you back from living your best life? If you're struggling with fear, it might be time to work with someone who can help you move past it. That is what I do, by the way. If you have questions about facing specific fears, drop them in the comments and I might record a quick video for you and post it on this channel in answer to your question. Or if you want to dive deeper, reach out to me through my website, thebookofaeon.com, and click on Spiritual Coaching with Rafe. I have a special right now that is $48 to spend an hour together, and I will answer all the questions you might have and maybe help you on the journey of getting past your fears. As always, if you like what I have to say, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and remember, be brave. Do something that makes you a little uncomfortable this week.